Thank you.
This is so cute.
You'll be working with just about any car here. So this is our first specialty. This is going to be chassis fab. So you're going to be working with the body of the car basically. So you're focusing on metalwork, welding. It's going to be MIG and TIG welding, starting with forming and folding and building up to cutting metal on plasma by saw or by hand. I wish they were in the shop. It's usually a lot more fun when they're in here. Sparks flying everywhere. I mean, it's really fun. So we have a final project in chassis fab. You have 3 options. The first option is to build your own pipe bender. Pay for a couple $100 for the materials here. You build it here. You're saving yourself a ton of money, and you can bring this with you to your career. Or that small little roll cage right down there. Do you see it? Mm-hmm. That's another option. What's great about that miniature roll cage is that you can show off your welding skills. You can put it in the back of your car or bed and bring it to your job interview. Or you can make, well, I don't know if there's any examples, but an actual giant roll cage. Take pictures of it, put it in your resume, bring it to job interviews. They'll see what your skills are with those roll cages. What's nice about specialties is that you have pretty much 2 phases. This is a 3-month program. So Chassis Fab 1, you're going to be focusing on that MIG and TIG welding, the custom roll cage design, like I said, and then you'll do machining 101 as well. And then Chassis Fab 2, you'll be going to custom chassis fab project, your final project, create DIY shop fixtures, learn to install the piece. You also do drive axle setup and suspension design, so you'll be doing a lot of fun stuff. Chassis fab is definitely a popular specialty. One of our coworkers has been an instructor here, and it's definitely a fun one. Is it Candace's Corvette? Candace's, yeah. The frame? Yeah. So one of our coworkers, Candace, she had an old Corvette and the frame is just completely shot, can't be used again. So what the students are actually working on, if they don't have a project, they just started their second phase.
Today's finals, actually.
Okay, today's finals. They're about to start their second phase. So they're basically mimicking the original frame of the Corvette and remaking it themselves from scratch. So there's options in here if you don't have a project to work on or if you're not busy. Instructors want you to be busy all the time.
Are you going to have a project? It's a rotary engine there. This is a RX-7 rotary engine. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those before. A Wankel. But look how tiny it is. That's the beauty of that thing. 2 of them in there. My dad said if I got into the Air Force Academy, he'd buy me one of these. That was new at the time. No, it's a Nissan 300Z.
I don't know, that Regal over there looks pretty cool.
Every car.
Tongue twister.
High performance powertrain. There we go. Every time. This is going to be introducing students to the basics of mechanical performance upgrades of automotive gas engines. That's all we're working on right now. We don't have here, and we're not working on electric quite yet. So this is gas engine only right now. We might change it soon. No idea. That's Jim Mathis. That's his thing. So, like I said, there's 2 terms, 2 phases as well. So term 1, you're going to be doing engines operations 101. Cylinder head porting and turning carburetors. I'm going to talk to you about their dynos. So this is the 4-wheel rotation dyno. So I think this green Civic behind you, we don't even have a title for it or reference. So since we can't put it on the actual road, we'll put it on the dyno, have it go 60 miles an hour, and comes out like that. We can't actually put it out on the road. So that's really tough to do. And then we have the 2-wheel, which is what the Jeep is on right now. And then we have the actual engine dyno down there. We'll take a look at that as well. Phase 2 is explore the electronic fuel injection, which is going to be working on diesel machines right by the dyno. And yeah, that's HPT. Let's go look at the dyno. Stuff and go ahead and go in there if you like. This is our engine dyno. It's pretty cool. Shut the door, you can barely even hear it. But I'll have you go look at that. Our dyno cell's really cool. They've been working on the same engine for quite a while, and then it started kind of just running down on them because it was just being used so much. And I think they're trying to fix it up again. Oh yeah. Or replace it. They went through reseal things. They're trying to make it, work again. They're trying. But this is the engine dyno. As you can tell, it has great smells in here.
I was gonna say it smells awesome.
It smells amazing.
It does. Is this room called the garbage can? Or is that just where they put a garbage can?
As if they don't know.
Oh yeah, upholstery and stuff. That's cool.
We don't need to worry about goggles if trim and upholstery or anything is not working now.
Kev, we need to reupholster our boat. So pay attention.
We'll get on to this one. This one.
Pay attention.
My car first.
This one is fun. So this specialty over here is ASM, also known as Applied Service Management. This is where they basically learn the business side of automotive. So I like to first point out the coolest part of this program. You will be in this for 3 months, but you'll come out of it with a 2-year associate's degree. And I think it's the occupational associate's degree in specialized technology, so it's AST. So, I mean, you're getting associates in 3 months. It's really awesome. I know when we're at career fairs, what a lot of employers are looking for is that you were an ASM because you know how to do customer relations, accounting, marketing, kind of marketing, and basically how to run a shop if you want to manage it. It's an awesome program, not the most fun. You're in the classroom the majority of the time. They're rarely out in the shop. When they are in the shop, they're doing detailing or car washes for employees here. They're learning how to do customer relations, customer service. So I know a few of our employees brought their cars over here the other day. If you want to take a look right here, they get to build their own miniature shop. They have to do it to scale though. It's the cutest thing, but it's like actually like a lot of math. All that stuff. They have to know how many parking spots they need, how many cars can fit in a shop, how many people can fit in a shop, bathrooms. I mean, anything and everything that goes into a shop they have to know to put in there.
Snap-on tools. What's that?
Here they are again. Now they make sense. Right. Yeah. A lot of people, especially diesel, come back for ASM. Come back after 9 months. You can continue with your specialty. ASM's a big one.
I don't know if we're supposed to be wandering off here.
That's okay.
Did they? Okay. That looks like a riot.
That's sound.
BMW. Black one. And then an Acura. Silver one's an Acura. Yeah, the black one's a Beamer.
Yeah, this is.
That's pretty dope.
Not a very popular trade, but you'd be amazed at how hard it is to make a perfect stitch in a perfect straight line. It's not an easy task at all. So you're mastering by creating patterns, stitches, you're learning how to use sewing tools, sewing machines, work on anything. It could be automotive, motorcycles, boats, trains, airplanes. I mean, we work with aviation. One of our STAR students, he just graduated in July. He went through every single specialty. He was here for 2.5 years, and his last specialty was from upholstery, and he's got a job with Duncan Aviation. And, I mean, great job, great everything. You could make one of these maybe in 5 minutes with a good sewing machine. You spend a couple $100 on a decent sewing machine, put this out in 5 minutes, sell it for a couple $100. I mean, you make bank in truck upholstery. Not that money's everything, but it is a good thing to consider.
They're hard to find. I
And
mean,
find a good upholstery,
yeah.
How much do they charge?
Like, well, there's nobody near where we live
Yeah.
that does it, so
Yeah.
you got to travel. Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to do. A fun fact about our trim and upholstery instructor is Mac. He is top-notch trim upholsterer. He is ranked in the top. He's number 4. I think I always get it wrong. Yeah. He is 5th generation, and his son is 6th generation. He can sniff out a wrong stitch. He is literally a perfectionist. He'll look at it and be like, start with. They will tell you this is the most frustrating specialty, but the most rewarding as well. I like to show off our little van over there, so we're going to walk over there and see what it is. So our core specialties, we're trying to get rid of this thing. Why? I don't know, I love it. But this is our shag and wagon. So, they try to recreate the 70s version of the van. Ford actually donated this to us for students to work on and completely recreate the 70s. They did everything. Students did everything in here. And this went to SEMA, and it won at SEMA. So that's huge. I think the only difference in here is probably the mini fridge and it's the flat screen TVs. But
I tried this.
it's a pretty cool van. It's cool, right?
Maybe a van. That's right though.
I think it's the coolest thing ever. But I know Eric's trying to get rid of it.
And they call it the shag and wagon.
Shagging.
Shag and wagon. Yep. So just so you know, you're not guaranteed to work on your own project. Yeah. Don't get your hopes up. So, but if you want to, just be a really good student.
Okay.
Easy. Reading, applying custom modifications and custom paint. I know there has been students that walked in here that only could do stick figures, and they walked out being able to do these creations right here. They have to learn how to do our Wyotech logo. They learn American flag. They work with water droplets. I mean, they work with smoke. I mean, they can work with pretty much anything and walk out of here an artist. I can only do stick figures, and if I were going to do any program, it'd be this. So I could learn how to be a little more creative. But it's amazing what these students can come in here and do. Some of these are from all the way back from, I think what Pat told me was like World War II. I mean, these are old, but these machines are loud. You can have this garage door open. You can barely hear it when it's actually running, but you can feel it from all the way to the end of the shop because these things are so crazy strong. But this is where you do metal shaping. So this is what I was talking about the metal shaping. This is not a perfect bowl, but this is what they're expected to do. Make this perfect bowl, and then right there. That's what they're supposed to be working on with metal shaping. Soft metals, being able to protect that. Obviously, they're trying.
Yeah, this little wood stuff right here that has the zipper in it, that's where they're going to be hand pounding out of that. So they're going to have like one arm that's like really strong. The other one, yeah, they got to be up somewhere. Exactly. Oh, yeah. January, April, July, and October. Yep. So our next start date is going to be October 4th for all those students. So that's when that Kevin is starting.
Okay. So July or October would be his options, his
Yes,
first
since
two
he's-
options.
yes.
If he decides to work through the summer, then he get October, or you could like just
Yeah.
July.
And we are growing for sure. So enrolling, I mean, there's no such thing as being too early to enroll,
Okay.
especially since you are going to be graduating. So talk to your rep if you have already. I don't think it's extra cost for the ASE test, is it? It might be like $20 compared to like.
So no,
outside of
so
Wyotech.
no.
Like she said, this is where they're adding 3 new classrooms to auto. So this will be a lot more utilized soon. And kind of self-explanatory, right? It's just engine management system. So basically, this is where they learn everything about the engine. And we'll go over here to actually, they don't really even have stuff over there either, but this is basically where they're gonna become a technician versus a mechanic. This is where they're gonna learn how to properly diagnose vehicles, go in there, properly troubleshoot it, save everybody time, save everybody money. This side is where they really learn about the electrics of the engine. All kinds of diagnosis stuff is the main focus of this part. This is another one of our favorite projects, this beautiful Bronco over here.
That is nice.
So this was actually sent to us by somebody to recreate for his dad, and we basically tore it down to the block is custom color.
It's pretty.
Color from the collision and the finishing before. It's been
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's the guy over here? That's one of them guys over there. It was over here.
light duty diesel. So this is where they're doing light duty diesel vehicles finally as well. Yep. Just started a couple months ago finally. Yep. Yeah, so what a lot of diesel guys are doing, they're actually adding this part of the core on as their specialty, you know, to get like the whole round of
Yeah, I think that's what
certification.
Kevin wants to do.
Yeah.
He wants to do as much as he can while he's here.
For sure.
What's really cool about collision or finishing is that the students will be working on a section of their own car. So there's 4 sections, so there's 4-door. Once it's the front part, they have a hood, they've got a door panel, they've got the glass section, they've got the roof. Each student has a section of the car to work on. It's equal, and they all get the same experience on how to work on it. So that's what's really cool about the project in here. We'll have you pop on your goggles since we're back in shop again, which we appreciate. And here's the other half of the Corvette that was in chassis fab. One thing about collision finishing as well is that the students will actually do 24 hours of welding, and that's based back there, so that's 3 days worth of welding. That's all they're doing for 3 days at one point in their program. And I'll show you the paint booth here in a second, and then, but I know he's an admissions rep now, but he was a collision or finishing instructor, and he was so specific about how to clean spray guns. Like, they will teach you how to appropriately clean a spray gun. Because if you go to a shop and there's multiple colors in that spray gun, are you actually getting the color that you want on the vehicle? Are you actually matching the color? No. So they're even teaching you how to clean appropriately, and shops really appreciate that. We have one in the back for what? Smaller pieces, yeah. Let's see. Everything in here is actual where the paint is stored. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of paint in here. What's amazing about the paint is that the slightest change in temperature and pressure, and even like using a wood stick in the paint, will change the color and not structure, but like the chemical itself of the paint. It's insane. Like, I'll show you this little machine. This is right here. And you like just wave your hand over it, and like you barely touch it and messes with it. It's really sensitive. It's an art and it's a science.
Then you'll get both of those dents perfectly fixed and perfectly painted over, and they'll come along with a key and drag it along.
And depending on how they feel, they might keep
Go
going
all
on
the way to the metal.
It's our frame bender. What they do is that they're getting base knowledge about this frame bender and knowing that depending on what car you're working on, your frame needs to be aligned within a certain distance. A lot of times that's within 1 millimeter of what it leaves the production line with. And depending on the company, it can also need to be spot on to what it left the production line with, because if it's not aligned within that certain distance, you're going to end up putting a car on the road that's going to be a lot more dangerous than it needs to be. So they get that base work of how to work this, how to bend the frame, how to make sure that your car is working within safe standards to be safe on the road. Working on their semi. So there's going to be 3 or 4 people per semi, and all but 2 of these semis are sent in by outside employers. So we have KMB, we have Penske, we've got a ton of different options, and this is the employers putting in the time and money to send in their vehicles to get them fixed. KMB has run theirs into the ground. Between their 2 trucks, they have $70,000 worth of parts that they've already spent, and they have about 20 more trucks that they want to send in here to get fixed. So they are a mess. But one of my favorite parts about Advanced Diesel is after they spend their full 3 months here working solely on these trucks, then they bring them up to the summit and back down and see how all their repairs are. And one of the best parts about it, since this is an employer and not a Wyotech truck, once this gets sent back and KMB looks at it, and if they think that this was fixed up and it's amazing, they can go, okay, who are the 3 or 4 techs that worked on it, and they might have a job offer from KMB right away.
Give it 100%.
Great advice.
Stay out of Colorado. Well, seriously, that's the whole thing. It's a big one.
Like,
It really is.
yeah, I don't know how it's running when it came in, but it'll be running when it leaves. And it'll be running.
Well, that 6 months, 9 months.
Grandpa would love
What's that?
this. Grandpa would love this.
Make sure that the air intake is going to be at the proper temperature so you're not overheating your engine.
I know, that's why I love this room.
It's cooler because this is probably one of the most well-ventilated sections in all of Wyotech because we're dealing with a natural gas engine or generator. So this is what you would find, say, on top of a hospital. And we want to bring in at least a little bit of experience, lay the groundwork surrounding natural gas, because it's going to be something that they're going to eventually run into. We don't have a full course on natural gas yet. That would probably take a lot more resources on our part just to make sure that we're maintaining the certain standards set forward by the federal government. Natural gas needs to be properly ventilated at all times. If you're working with natural gas trucks, even if they're not running inside of the shop, you need to take them out and completely ventilate that system for every 4 hours. So we at least want to put down the groundwork to show what you do with natural gas generators and engines, the work that can be done on them, and the regulations surrounding them because they are so strict. But if either Kevin's were to go out into the world and work with natural gas, they'd at least have the groundwork. So any training on top of that, they're just not going in blind. And we do have 6 smaller diesel engines as well that you get a chance to work on, so you're just not working on the really big ones. But I appreciate you going into diesel because every time I look at these engines, I don't know what's going on. All that matters is that someone knows what's going our HVAC and our refridge. So over here, we know that diesel can get pretty hard on the body after a time. So we want to put a focus on HVAC and refrigeration because not only is the world run by diesel, but it's also run by our heat things. So in this section, you'll learn the basics of your HVAC and refrigeration that can lead you up to get your 608 and your 609 certifications that are set by the federal government, and those I believe are one-time tests that'll keep you certified pretty much for the rest of your life. And refrigeration can be taken pretty much anywhere. You can either be working on the ACs in cars, all the way up to the freezer units on semis. And if an employer has over $1 million worth of meat in his truck, you bet you pay a pretty penny to make sure none of that goes bad. We're gonna have to message you about the next Wyotech.
Okay. Well, he's got some friends at high school that are interested, so he wanted to kind of bring back something to look at.
This is what the single room looks like. We unfortunately don't have a double to show, but this is what the private rooms will look like. So go ahead and take a look around. You'll need to bring bedding, shower stuff, kitchenware, so dishes, silverware, cups, plates, stuff like that.
So if it was a double, just
I think those two would just be combined.
combined.
Yeah. But
each of them, even the doubles have like this common space.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. And furniture is included outside of the TV. Yep.
Okay.
So bring your own TV?
Yes. Or just use your laptop. And the doors lock. So if you have like your own, like if you have a PC or like expensive stuff and you don't want anyone in your room, you can lock your door. Yeah.
That's like the way it was at Beaver Creek.
So
for
even a
Ryan.
single room has like community.
That's mostly for your own safety. We had someone they put 12 different cords into one socket. So, fire hazard. There was a guy who piled trash upon trash in his room. Disgusting and hazardous as well. They're not so cheap. You have a deposit. If you want to leave, you get that deposit. So, just be involved. So she'll take them to drag races. She'll take them, well, we had Shine Frontier Days not too long ago. She took a bunch of them to the rodeo there. Bowling nights, movie nights.
If it's the winter, there's trips to go up to the snowies, and if they want to do snowmobiling, skiing, snowboarding.
Okay.
Yep.
So
So
is
she
it worth
tries,
it to get like a ski pass? Is
if
there
you love
time
to
for
do
that?
it, the snowy range is super cheap.
Yeah.
Or a snow
I
pass,
looked at
season
the-
pass.
I looked at the season passes and I was like,
It's
and you
nothing.
get 5 days at Steamboat.
Yeah. Yep, and you get 5 days of steamboat. Yep.
Yeah.
Snowy range. It's not the best ski. Coming from someone who loves to snowboard, I'm a little more prestigious. But if you want to travel 30 minutes, I mean, go.
Do they have any time off between segments or anything?
Yep, so they get breaks throughout the day. I think if they're in classroom, they get 20-minute breaks every 50 minutes.
So if they're in class, they lecture for 15 minutes, break for 10 minutes. If they're in shop, it's a 20-minute break at 9 and a 20-minute break at 2 with that 15-minute lunch in the middle. In terms of bigger breaks, they'll have in between, I think, 7 and 10 days off at the end of the, not every term.
Dead week?
Yeah, dead week.
It's just a week.
Well, it depends on the time of year, because like Christmas time.
It's right before every start, and then Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
So Christmas and Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, so before every regular start, so every 3 months they have a more extended break.
Yeah. So right before October, they'll have a week off.
Week off,
basically,
okay.
Yeah. Because we're getting ready for the new starts.
And then what do they have around Christmas? Just a week?
I think it's the 20. What is it? I know I can't remember the actual start date, but the last day is January 2nd.
Okay.
And then they come back.
Okay.
I'll have to check.
So it's that week between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
I think it's a week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Same with Thanksgiving, I think it's just like the Wednesday to Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we get almost the same as the students.
Yeah.
I know it's hot in here. Trying to think of what else to involve so we can get out of here.
And then doesn't come on any.
No. So you need to bring dishes and stuff. Yep.
And food-wise, we have a Dollar General about 2 blocks that way. That's very well stocked. Pretty much anything that it doesn't have is meat and produce. We also have a Safeway, a Ridley's, and a Walmart, and those are just across the tracks. So plenty of places for them to go grab food if they want to do meal prepping, make dinner for themselves every night, except that, or they can, go grab a McDonald's, or
Subway.
anything like that. Whatever their finances can afford.
Yes.
There's always those. Yeah, they'll like.
Back to the body shop.